Have you ever wondered why two people can experience the exact same situation, yet one feels grateful while the other feels miserable? The answer isn't luck, it isn't talent, it's perspective. Let me tell you a story. A young man once climbed a quiet mountain to visit an old monk. His face carried exhaustion, and his heart was heavy with disappointment. As he reached the monastery, he bowed respectfully and asked, "Master, why does life always seem unfair? No matter how hard I try, things never go the way I want." The monk smiled gently but didn't answer. Instead, he handed the young man a wooden bucket and pointed toward a nearby stream. "Bring me some water." Confused, the young man obeyed. When he returned, the monk placed a handful of salt into the bucket and stirred it slowly. "Now drink." The young man took a sip and immediately spit it out. "It's far too salty." The monk nodded. Life's pain is like this salt. Sometimes we cannot remove it. We cannot control every disappointment, every failure, or every heartbreak. But we can choose what we become. If your mind is like a small bucket, every problem will consume you. But if your mind becomes as vast as the lake, the same pain loses its power. The young man stood in silence. For the first time, he realized that he had spent years trying to change the world around him, without ever changing the way he looked at it. The monk smiled once more. When someone criticizes you, you have two choices. You can carry those words for years, or you can learn from what is useful and let the rest drift away. When life closes one door, you can stare at the closed door forever, or you can begin searching for another. Perspective does not change reality. It changes how you respond to reality. As the sun began to set behind the mountains, the young man noticed something strange. Nothing in his life had actually changed. His problems were still there. His responsibilities still waited for him. But somehow he felt lighter, not because life had become easier, but because his mind had become stronger. Years later, people would ask him what the monk had taught him. He would always answer with the same words. "I stopped asking, 'Why is this happening to me?' And I started asking, 'What is this trying to teach me?'" That single question transformed every setback into a lesson, every failure into experience, every obstacle into growth. Remember, life is not always about changing your circumstances. Sometimes, it's about changing the lens through which you see them. Because when your perspective changes, your world changes with it.
Thank you for spending these few moments with Wisdom Lens. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom, keep growing, and never stop looking at life through a better lens.